Morning monsters, welcome. You'll notice things a little different. How is the green set? The obvious, we've got this first element here where I just took the potion shop animation that I've used before. I did a green screen sort of text gadget. I did a green screen text gadget back there. And then for the non-text gadget pass, all I did was I basically got rid of the table and the stuff that would be in the front. I'm happy as a temporary solution for now. I love to see people sharing knowledge with each other about how to make stuff. That's really useful. But if you are doing this in a general game context or talking context, you need to be able to have something to offer, whether it's expert knowledge or whether it's entertainment. And you've got to do prep. Reality of creative economies, they're what we call aspirational economies, and that's just a fancy way to say most people get fucked over if you're trying to do it as a business thing or as a commercial venture. We've all heard the 10,000 hours thing. The 10,000 hours. Spend 10,000 hours, you'll get good at something. It's true and it's not true. This is the phrase of Bob Ross's I love the most, is talent is a pursued interest. You need to like the thing and spend time doing the thing, pursuing it to get better at it. Talent is a pursued interest. Love that saying. But the second part of the 10,000 hours to expert part is you can't sit down for 10,000 hours and not have critical guidance. There's a reason why sitting down for an hour with a paintbrush and painting by yourself, you'll learn this much. Well, when you start out, you'll learn a ton. After you've sat down with a paintbrush and a canvas for an hour, very quickly you'll hit a blocker. At some point, you'll engage with other artists. You'll maybe go to a class. You'll maybe do a showing of your work. There's different things you can do. And what you should do is different at different stages. But if you're starting out, and you spend an hour painting by yourself on a painting you never shown to anyone, versus you go to a class or a structured activity where you do an hour of painting, the hour that you get out in that structured environment will be worth tenfold, if not more, than what you'll get there. And there'll be these skill cap moments. If you're playing a video game where you're getting experience and you're leveling up, where you'll hit these invisible barriers. And the only way to break through those invisible barriers, because the truth is you are progressing, but the problem is like your painting skills hit here and you can't get any better at painting, because what you haven't realized is that your conceptualization or your understanding of color or your ability to work with physical mediums or your understanding of light just might be back down here. And this skill cannot progress further until you bring up some of these lower skills. I think a lot of people intuitively understand that would say painting. They don't realize would say streaming. They think if they just keep showing up and they just keep streaming, it'll just get better. And no, it won't. You have to, at some point, do prep work. At some point, you have to talk to other streamers. You have to have critique of your work. You maybe want to go to a video editing class, a lighting class, maybe go to an improv lesson, or maybe just sit down with some of your long-term viewers and talk things through. Go through those steps and learn to improve. I still do them. Even though this is totally a hobby and this is totally not a thing I want to push too far, I still sit down and I still think, okay, structure the stream, still think through this, still think pacing, still occasionally go through an older VOD and look, and I'm like, there's dead air there for a solid 2 minutes where my brain shut off. That's awful. When I see people go, oh, why am I not growing? Or why am I not improving? I'm like, have you done that work? And the ratio as time goes on, because I think a lot of people sit down and they're like, I'm just going to stream for 10 hours. And you're like, ooh, Is that the best thing you can do? Is that the best thing you can do? Or instead of streaming for those 10 hours, maybe you could sit down for 3 hours and think about editing or think about going through things, and then stream for 5 hours. Now you've taken 10 hours down to 8 hours, but you'll get more out of that 5 hours. You need to think about what you're doing and evaluate it. And the easiest way I can say this is you need to know why people should watch you. You need to know what value you're putting out into the world. And as long as you know what value you're putting out in the world, and as long as you know how to improve that value over time, it's all good. Chef kiss. Good way to describe it: without outside input, you won't know, you don't know what you need outside input for. That is a very good way to describe it. Anyway, it was lovely to chat, lovely to see you all. I will see you all tomorrow. Take care of yourselves, and until then, bye-bye.